Hi and welcome to SW Herts Community TV. I'm Carol Dodsley and I have with me Alex Murray, your district leader. Alex, come and say hello.
Hi Carol, hi viewers. Good to see you again. Good to speak to you again, Carol. It's been too long as always.
I know, it's been ages. It's sort of, I feel like a newbie again today, coming back onto the shows.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It's good to have variety and different people give different relationships and other people, especially good having other district leaders. So people watching this in South West Herts know that Link for Growth isn't just based in Watford and Wigglesworth, the South West Herts. It's up and down the country, in the northeast, the northwest. So there's a good national coverage going on through the TV show.
Yeah, exactly, and that's one of the key points about it. You know, I host a lot of the TV shows and I'm actually leading on the TV platform, but the idea is to bring in as many people as possible to help other people, A, get more confidence, start using Hangouts, which are an amazing technology, and also raise their visibility of who they are in the areas. I know you and I have had a chat about it, Alex, and said that looking forward to the future, that as people go through the Google Hangout training so that they know how to use them, that you'll be inviting them, those that want to actually step up and become co-hosts with you as well, so that there'll always be some variety and people are actually, it's like a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, as I say, variety is the spice of life, and it'd be good to have different guests on each week. So maybe some of the community leaders who host the event when I'm not around, and it's their role to look after, say the event coming up next week is in the Murphyville. And the Murphyville host comes on the Friday and talks about the event, so instead of me just passing the message on.
Exactly, and I think that's a really great way of doing it, because you can talk about an event much more when you've been live at the event. You've got a much better handle. You know, if people pass information back to you, that's absolutely great, and to say we had a great event and we had all these people and we talked to this person and that person, but then you're just a news reporter. You're not actually somebody who experienced it. So if you can bring on the people that have experienced it, they're going to share it with a lot more passion and a lot more excitement about what it was, because they felt that feeling.
Yeah, and then bringing new people on the team means when they share it, a new audience gets to see it, because I'd imagine if they come on the show, they'll want to say it, and this is what I'm doing, so their friends and their contacts see it, so it gets out to a new voice as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the great things about community TV, and not only community TV, any TV that is done through Google Hangouts, whether it's as part of Link for Growth and our national platform, or whether you do it on your own, it's all about getting people to share messages with other people and connecting with more people and building better networks.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with, where have you actually been this week? Have you been anywhere, and do you have any local news?
I've been quite a few places this week, apart from the university stuff, which is a current thing. I won't mention I've been at uni every day, because that'll be a bit boring, and every week it won't be any different. But on Sunday last week, I was actually quite busy with some charity stuff. Two charities in particular. There was the Waterways Experience, which is based up on Nash Mill, kind of Kingsland area, and it's a charity I'm involved with through my family and through my dad, and his role there is kind of the administration officer, so all the kind of backroom stuff. So make sure the supplies are there, so when they take the boats out, all the customers make sure they've all got teas and coffees, make sure they've got towels, and all the kind of stuff that you expect to be there is all taken care of. So I went along there for about a few hours, met all the volunteers, all of them. Sorry, just got a message. All of them got involved and doing different things. So you saw all the boats. They've got 3 narrow boats, all of them different sizes. 2 of them take up to 12 people, and one Sheldrake 3 is a up to 40-person boat. So slightly bigger, slightly more corporate, ideal for having events on and parties. And we had my dad's 60th on there, so it was a really good day. And I believe they raised about £1,200, which is a great amount for a charity that's only been running about 6 months and got quite a good presence already, with people coming all the way around from the other side of the M25 to come on a narrowboat, because they're designed for people with disabilities and helping enable people onto the canal.
Awesome, that sounds really great. I'd have loved to have been at that. Are they Link for Growth subscribers? Could you not have a Link for Growth event on one of their narrowboats?
You have read my mind, Carol. I am pleased. I had to save this later on. I am pleased to announce that on the 4th Thursday in November, Link for Growth will be hosting its first coffee on a narrowboat. We will not be on dry land this time, so we've conquered land, we've conquered sea. Who's going to conquer the air first? That's the challenge for you. Who's having in a plane, maybe, or a hot air balloon or something?
Yeah, that would be really great, and I could see that happening, because lots of different things are happening. I know we've had a steam train, and Damien started a new event up in Halifax or Bradford this week, and his was actually, it was in a normal place in a way. It was in a barber shop, but this is a very unique barber shop that is a barber shop with a licensed bar in it. So we're getting some really unique venues coming along, and I'm really glad that you're having yours on a narrowboat.
Yeah, and I know charity, they are not subscribers yet. They came to last month's CSR lunch, and the representative came to last week's Rickmansworth coffee, and they talked about the idea, and we found a date, and that's going to be starting in November, and hopefully within the next 24-40 hours all the details will be up for people, and you're going to book into on Eventbrite so you can get all the information. And it'll be really good coffee and help cement that relationship, and in time they're going to subscribe and they're going to get part. Hopefully someone from the team, from the boat base and the charity will represent the charity as the host of the event, so they can benefit from what Link for Growth does in terms of community hosts. So it should be really good, and that charity day cemented our relationship between Link for Growth and the charity.
Yeah, and that's happening more and more now, isn't it? There's more and more people where we're starting to partner, and Link for Growth are getting involved, and the people are getting involved, and I'm just seeing that expand and go a lot faster than when I first started to work with you and do the TV programs and everything. It didn't seem to be moving quite at the speed that it's moving now, and you're seeing this all over the country.
Yeah, and I say moving on. I haven't said that for a few weeks. I never said moving on with anyone else. Now you're back, it feels natural again. I don't know why. But later that evening, instead of moving on, later in the evening, I was at part 2 of my charity day, and it was with the Michael Green Foundation. We hopefully will be getting Catherine Baldwin from the charity to be joining us. A few technical hitches, probably my fault more than the computers, but I'll take that. I'll take the hit on that one. She might come and join us later, but they had their supper quiz on Sunday night, and it was a brilliant success. They raised, I believe, around £8,000. Which I believe is about a quarter of the money they raised last year. So within one event, they've raised as much as they did in the whole quarter of the money they did in the whole year's work. So there's some really good progress there, and a great way of supporting, again, a local charity, and just solidifies that relationship even more. Catherine came to the CSR lunch today. Little spoiler for you coming up in a minute, but it was a really good way of solidifying a relationship and just saying, Link for Growth supports what you do, you support what we do, we'll help promote your stuff. I put an advert in the brochure, so all the attendees will see what Link for Growth is doing, and they're going to have an e-brochure which we can distribute to anyone, so then anyone can see the advert and see what Link for Growth is doing.
Awesome. And again, that's an excellent example of how Link for Growth and local community organisations and local charities are working together to create win-win situations for absolutely everybody. Yeah,
and it was just a brilliant evening as well. Again, everything I felt that evening, all the food, the ticket included the food, so my ticket was paid for. So when I know it went to the charity, I bought some raffle tickets, didn't win the raffle, unfortunately. I found that later on in the evening, the drinks behind the bar, some of the money from drink sales would go towards the charity as well. So everything we did there helped the charity raise the money for finding and promoting. I should know this. Highlighting the awareness of type 2 diabetes and the symptoms of it. I should know that message by now. It's a nightmare.
I should know that. You've been working with this charity for months.
It's been one of those weeks. Anyway,
so
I'll tell you all about counts if you want, but type 2 diabetes, I know nothing at the moment. That's what I'm hoping the guests will come on. And technical gremlins still exist, apparently.
Okay, well, whilst we're waiting for Catherine to see if she can get over the technical gremlins, how about, have you got any other where you've been this week to share, or local news?
Just one last little thing. We had the CSR lunch. I've just got back this afternoon. Brilliant event. We had one new charity there, was Watford Workshop, and from what I understand, they help give disabled people, both mental and physical disabilities, some work experience, paid work experience. So hopefully we're going to develop the relationship to more. Didn't spend a lot of time talking to them about how Link for Growth can help, but have all their contact details, and they'll be put onto the system, so they'll get all the email reminders, and hopefully begin to cement that relationship and see what help they need as a charity. Every charity is different. Some may need exposure, some may need contact, some may need more people to find out about them, to volunteer. So we take each individual charity differently and find out how we can help them.
Excellent stuff, and I think it's great that you've got multiple charities, because some we're not the same sort of organisation as any other large organisation, but you do tend to find that some big organisations that can actually help local charities and local people, they only pick one a year, which is great for that particular one, but that means that everybody else gets left out and has to go into the draw for next year. And what I love about Link for Growth is that absolutely any charity, any cause, you know, any person as well, can all be helped at the same time.
Yeah, and it's not, I mean, speaking to someone who works at the charity, I believe it was down in London, she was saying the process to become a kind of corporate charity, and it takes about 6 months, and there's 6 months for what you've got to do, and the payoff might be nothing. You may become John Lewis's charity for 3 months, but you may not, so then you kind of have all that work for no reward. And Link for Growth, there's very little work you need to do. The work is attend events, subscribe, and then that's it. And then Link for Growth can help you with the rest.
Yeah, and attending events isn't work because it's fun and it's informative and it's sharing and collaborating, and subscribing isn't work either. It is incredibly simple.
Yeah, and if you like breakfast, there's breakfast events. If you like a cup of coffee, and there's local coffee shops with have moving events into in the area, so you can go there. If you fancy a lunch, again, today was a lunch, next month, great, let's have a lunch. We've got the drinks evening, which are brilliant ways of socialising in the evening when you finish all the office work. I'll go to the pub, but say I can network and community with at the same time. So it's a great way of combining going out in the evening, have a relaxed evening, but as well as talking about what you do and not hard selling, but you relax. And there's so many great ways Link for Growth can help both online and offline. It's just about making people aware of which bit they need to be looking at.
Yeah, exactly. So have you got any shout-outs today?
I was going to throw one shout-out. You might not have heard, but for anyone who hasn't heard, Chris Ogle, Link for Growth, stopped using supermarkets this week 1 year ago. So we decided to put a little birthday cake together between me and Diane Richardson. We got one of the local Link for Growth members, Avril Reed. She produced a lovely cake, and it was brilliant. Chris didn't know, so there should be photos around on social media, I believe they're on Twitter, Facebook, and Google Plus soon. And it was just a brilliant way of saying, congratulations, you've gone a year without using a supermarket.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing those pictures. Pity we didn't have any that we could have shared today.
No, I mean, I would like to thank Avril. The cake was really nice, and I believe she does some really nice kind of rum cake, not Caribbean rum cake, which I've been advised if you have, you're not allowed to drive home. So it's that nice, if you know what I mean.
It sounds very good.
Yeah, it was brilliant, and just a way of saying you can look at. We've got an example now of someone who's gone a year without supermarkets. Why not try it yourself? If you can't do a year, try it for a week, and if you enjoy that, make it 2 weeks, and then don't look at it. Oh my God, I've got to do a year. Do it a week at a time. For a month, I won't use the supermarket. I know a couple of the district leaders up in the northeast are kind of doing that, and in Derbyshire saying I won't shop there for a month, and then breaking it down makes it an easier process.
So have you started not using supermarkets?
As I can't, because I don't control the purse strings in this house. I am very much I get given what I get given.
But you personally,
when
you
try
do
not
things,
I try not to buy supermarkets. Try avoid chain coffee shops. I haven't been to a chain coffee shop. I don't for a good couple of months now. I don't think the last time, unless I'm doing a family shop, I won't use supermarkets for lunches and stuff. I'll try and find the local places. I'll try and convert the household, but until I control the purse strings, it's a bit difficult.
Okay, we've just had a message come in on the event page from Catherine, and the Google Voice and Video package isn't loading for her. It's just hanging and verifying, so it won't work because, Catherine, if you're listening in, if you had the latest version of Chrome, you wouldn't need that voice and video plugin, because with Hangouts they have now changed it, and on the latest version of Chrome, which is Google's own browser, you can now get into Hangouts without having to download the voice and video software. If you're using an older version of Chrome, or if you're using Safari or Firefox, or that one I think it's called Internet Explorer that I haven't used for years and years and years, but any of those, then you do still need it. Or if you're on your phone or a tablet, you need the apps. But just for other people, because Catherine's put that message in, you can now get onto Google Hangouts without downloading any software if you are on the latest version of Chrome. So it's a real shame, and Catherine, if you're listening, I was so excited and so looking forward to you coming in. Perhaps, Alex, you could actually get together with Catherine during the week, sometime next week or the week after, and so that she can come on to a future show with you.
Yeah, and I'm going to take the hit on this one. It's not anyone's fault but my own. I should have organised this more. It's been, again, just, yeah, I should have thought about that and thought, rather than leaving it with 10 minutes to go, get it planned out, get it yesterday. It's just one of the things. So when that's why I didn't announce it, but when I do plan to get a guest on, I'll make sure we actually get them on next time. Good choice,
good choice. Where there's always, and that it's a good thing in a way that that's happened today, because we don't know what we don't know, and sometimes we forget things, sometimes we've never learned the things, so we don't know that we need to think about it. So when things actually happen and things kind of go wrong, it helps everybody to learn and make different plans and change things for the future as well.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with kind of admitting you made a mistake, and next time I know when I want to bring a guest on, that the night before we practice, have a quick 5-minute chat. This is what you do. This is just about like looking at the camera screen, not slouching, note to self, but very much kind of get through the etiquette side. So when they know to come on a hangout, they can relax, and all they need to worry about is talk about what they're doing rather than looking at the screen and worrying about they see themselves or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And for anybody, I mean, this isn't it fitting into the right place, but whilst we're talking about that, something that I would just like to announce today, Alex, and we haven't talked about the fact I'm going to, but I'm going to do it because I have control of the buttons. So you can't stop me. I am actually putting together at the moment in the background a workshop that will be specifically for people that want to either run or host or participate in online TV shows using Google Plus and Google Hangouts, and that's going to be one of our open source workshops through Link for Skills. So watch this space. There is full training on its way very soon.
That's brilliant. So there's a bit of breaking news for you. I don't know who else has heard that message, but that's great. That's great, because now people will be able to not only go through what is Google Plus, they'll be able to find out what is Google Hangouts, and then they like Google Hangouts, so how can I get involved in doing them? So there's 3 steps, so people don't have to worry about each step at the same time. They can just do each one and say, I've got the hang of Google Plus, I now want to get the hang of what this Hangout thing is. Then a few months later go, I really think I can start using that for my business. I've got this great idea. I'll get involved with the next Hangout, and then start either getting involved with community TV or doing their own little mini-series on Google Hangouts.
Yeah, I've actually got quite a variety of different, because Google Hangouts are so flexible and can be used in so many different ways. And what I found as a specialist trainer of Hangouts is when you try and teach people everything and all the different things it can do, it's too overwhelming and people just go away and don't do it. So I'm splitting all of the topics down, and I'll be offering through Link for Skills the how to run your own TV show, but I'll also be doing things like how to use Hangouts to run paid-for workshops, how to use Hangouts for client consultations, all sorts of topics. So also, if you're out there, Alex, or anybody that's watching the show, if you know that you would like to learn Hangouts, whether you're using them now or not, we have the Beginners Hangouts workshop already available. But if you know that you would like to use Hangouts for a specific kind of thing, do let Alex know or pop it into the event description, and I'll scoop everybody's ideas up, and I'll make sure that we create a workshop on each of the topics that people actually would like to use them for, because if one person would like to use them for something, you can guarantee that there are a lot of people across the country that would also like to do the same.
It's just maybe those people haven't had the idea, so that one person says, oh, I could use it for that, and then when other people see it, they might, I hadn't thought about that idea, because everyone won't have all the same ideas. I may suggest that we use it for a mini-series. Someone else may want to do it for a one-to-one. So if you're in a kind of mentoring, coaching scheme, you may want to do this as for initial consultation. So you don't. I mean, you may want to have all your clients online. Hang on, we have a visitor. We have a guest.
We have a guest.
Catherine, can you hear us?
She's not quite there yet, Alex.
Okay.
We've just said that Catherine can't join us, but here inside the Hangout room, we have just seen a profile image of Catherine pop up. Now, she isn't quite on video yet, I can see, because her profile picture is there and it's static, but you might hear her interrupt us in a minute if she's not muted as she came in, and she may be here with us, but we don't know yet. So, but that's quite exciting after we've just said nobody's coming in with us. So Catherine might be with us after all. Whilst we're waiting for Catherine, because I have noticed recently it seems to take a few seconds. People come in and I see them in here. It takes a few seconds before they actually appear on the video and audio with us. So we'll leave Catherine sitting in the background. And Catherine, if you can hear us, if you are there, you're not muted at the moment, I can see, because there's no mute button. Do feel free to just interrupt us and go, hi.
It feels very much like a kind of nature documentary. This kind of, we can talk about some stuff, but the good bit, it was kind of, we don't know when that's going to happen. We're waiting for it to happen. So I'll try and go with some local news, but I'm going to imagine I'm going to be interrupted. I'm not sure when. But for anyone who wasn't aware, we had a catwalk and a fashion show in Watford last week, and I spoke to a friend who was there. It was a brilliant event. It was part of the big event series in Watford, and it's just another one that Watford Council put on and said, we'll have a fashion show. And it was a great way of, I spoke to them and they said West Herts College were involved, and because found out they had fashion designers as students. The students got a live project to work on, and then they say, we did this. See these photos, see these dresses that the models are wearing, I designed those. And it's a great project, and it's a really great way of kind of, A, giving the town something, and B, giving students a kind of a project, a live project. So rather than just working theoretically on how to design a dress, they said, we've got a catwalk in 2 weeks, we need a dress for it, go and do it. That's a great project. It gives them experience, it gives them a project to work on.
Yeah, I love seeing it when local people and local organisations and local businesses actually invite teenagers from colleges to do something and work in collaboration with them, because the businesses have got their business knowledge and everything else, but there's a lot of stuff they don't know about that youngsters can do nowadays. And the same as there's a lot of youngsters that can do loads of stuff, but they have no idea how to actually take part in a fashion show or how to take part with businesses. So by bringing the two together, you're just creating something pretty awesome.
Yeah, and just want to take this on a side note. I was reading it's a book on a kind of music producer, not very famous, and he got involved at the beginning working with kind of new bands and just helping them, and they moved on, and then he got asked to join one of the big record labels, and he never enjoyed it. He clashed with people because he loved kind of being overall in charge, but what he realized he loved working with developmental talent, working with new people who have not had the experience, because they taught him as much as he taught them. He used the enthusiasm they've got and the passion they've got that hasn't been drawn out of them through 30 years of business, and he thrived in that, and he loves his job now is just developing young talent, which is brilliant. This is similar to what we were just talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And just to keep everybody up to date with what's happening with our guest that we could see her profile picture in here, that we were hoping she was going to come live, has just disappeared out of the Hangout. And Catherine's actually put some comments over on the event page to say, I may have sussed it. No idea what happens next. It says live. So Catherine was obviously in here and could see it saying live, but for some reason her webcam hadn't kicked in and her microphone hadn't. This is something that can happen on Hangouts if you've never been on a Hangout before, if nobody's sort of tested out your software. It could be that the connection's not good enough. It could be that it hadn't recognized the webcam and the right audio, and that you needed to go to your settings, which obviously nobody has told you how to do yet. So there's lots of different reasons why that could happen, but it was really great to see your profile picture in here, and we were getting really excited that you might have been with us.
Yeah, and just it's the fun of Hangouts. You can try certain things, and it's just we don't know what's going to happen each week, and hopefully we'll get sorted, and I'll drag it forward to the other bit of local news. And something Catherine might be interesting, because I know her two daughters are students, and next Thursday, which I believe is, let me have a quick look at the date. The date will be the 9th, into Watford, the Harlequin are having a student event for students. I might pop along myself, me with my student card. At the ripe old age of 24, 25, I still call myself a student. It's fine. And yeah, it's a great way. There's loads of discounts available. And I know places like New Look, Pizza Express, Topman, Topshop, Apple, Vodafone, O2 are all going to have a range of discounts between 10 30%. So it's a great way, if you know kind of your children, your friends' children are students, get them to go on the website. I believe if you just go into Watford, it should be, all the information should be on there. I'll share it out later on and just say, pre-order, you've got to have a wristband, pre-order wristband, and get involved in some great deals. 30% off of Apple product. That's brilliant.
Sounds good to me. Except I don't have a student card anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure people would say the students of life. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
we never stop learning, however old you are.
I know. So, shall we move on to shout-outs? Have you got any shout-outs this week?
I've done my shout. We did that earlier.
Oh, did we do that earlier? It's all right. I've lost track now with the lovely Catherine popping in and out of our pictures and sort of being here, quite excited that she's going to jump up.
Yeah.
I'm losing track. So where are we at now? What's going on next week?
Next week, we have 2 coffees next week. One is tomorrow in the Watford Market. For anyone who doesn't know, tomorrow will be the last day the current market is open. So it's a bit of a kind of closing ceremony and a bit. This is what I know a photographer is going to come down and take some photos. So we've got a memory bank of the market of how it used to be. So in 20 years' time, we can look back on the photos and say, this is what the market looked like. And we can say to people who wasn't around then, this is what the old market looked like. So it's going to be a great way to kind of close out the market and then get involved there and come down there. I'll be there from 10 o'clock. And then next Thursday, the coffee at the Mercure, Linked Coffee at the Mercure, should be a brilliant event again. I'm just working out who I'm going to have hosting it and getting involved there. So the details will be out, but get along, book in, and that should be a brilliant way of getting involved and meeting people who can help you.
Excellent. So I don't quite know whether Catherine is in the room with us or not, or just her picture, because another comment just came in that she ended with an error, and she was on Chrome. These things do happen. I think, you know, when you spend some time with her, Alex, then it's going to help for another time, and it must be very frustrating for her that she can't get in. And it's quite frustrating for me that I can't stop and say, hang on, and I'll sort you out. But obviously we're live on a hangout, so we can't really stop the hangout to actually help Catherine right now, and it feels really sort of, oh no, I so want to go and sort this out.
Yeah.
What else have we got to talk about?
Just a bit of kind of, we were talking about earlier, you threw the spoiler out there, the coffee on the boat base. I don't know whether you had heard through the grapevine or were you read my mind. Yeah.
I just come up with lots of ideas. The minute you spoke about a boat, it was like, well, we need to get an event on the boat.
So there was the spoiler for anyone who missed it earlier, because it has been such a fun show that with things have been thrown around out order. Coffee on a boat base, that is the 4th Thursday in November it starts. So once it's on Eventbrite, we'll share all the details. The 3rd Monday in November, we're going to have a coffee in a local coffee shop, in Ocean Bells Coffee Shop. I've got to just send off all the details to headquarters and get all that organised. But I've been speaking to them the last few weeks. I go in there most weeks. Bought a coffee. I was talking about linked growth, and he was like, I'm intrigued by this. And where do we go next? I went, let's have a coffee here, and I sent him over some dates that work for me. So the 3rd Monday in November, it will be in the Ocean Bells Coffee Shop on the High Street. So if you're fancy trying out a local coffee shop, or if you've been and you want to get involved with linked growth there, come along. It should be a really good event.
Excellent. And I want to just go back to shout-outs that you've already done, and now I remember that you did it, but I'd like to give a shout-out to someone, and I'd actually like to give a really big shout-out to Catherine for going through all the frustrations and trying so hard to get onto the show with us today. And yes, absolutely, we will get you onto the show very soon.
Yeah, I'm going to apologise. I should have sorted this out this week. It's just I had my late planning. It's not your fault, Catherine. It's very much my fault.
Okay, so have we got anything else that we want to talk about, or are we done? I can't remember anymore.
I'm just going to throw a little teaser out there for the audience, and kind of, I'm going to say there's, by the end of the year, as well as the 2 events I've mentioned, there's going to be 5 more events, possibly 6 by the end of the year. So we're talking, Linked Growth nationally will have over 100, Southwest Arts will have a 5th of those. So keep that in your memory. When you see things, just think, oh, there's another event. Oh, that's new. So there's a little teaser for you, and more will be revealed.
Excellent. And I know that up north there are a lot of new events being planned as well. So this is really, really getting exciting.
We're just little Watford compared to the north, which is everything above Watford, so it's fine. But, no, us little people in Watford and Southwest Arts with 20 events. It's amazing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, except I think you're not so little, because it's actually up north people that are little, because Jerry's about 5 foot without her stiletto heels and platforms on, and you're about, what, 6'4"?
Yeah, district-wise compared to the north, as we try and compare it.
It's all exciting, and it's all good news to hear that there are new events. And I mean, the fact that there's going to be another 5 in your area is really quite popping it.
So 5 plus the 2 I've just announced.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're looking at 20 by the end of the year, and we were at 8. When January, I had a quick look, we were at 8. We've added 12 new events, and most of them since I've become district leader. So I don't know if we have general meetings when I get reappointed. Well, that could be quite a good idea.
You
So
never know.
as a district, it could be quite good. So the district leader proves themselves to the group, gets re-elected as chairman. Could work.
I didn't know we had any chairman.
Oh, chairwoman, we'll call it that. We are now rambling. We should end this now before this. The lack of sleep is killing me.
Oh dear. Right, okay, so I think we're at the end today, and if we've missed anything, don't worry, because Alex will be back with you next week. I won't be here, not because somebody else is going to come and take over for me next week, but because I won't actually be in the country, because I'm flying off to Bulgaria on Monday to go and look at some houses, which is a new adventure for me. So Alex will let you know when he puts the new event up. He'll let everybody know who's going to co-host with him.
Yeah, it should be interesting, and we'll put another surprise out and have another fresh face in to get involved with this.
Yeah, that would be absolutely fantastic if you can have a completely fresh face. And of course, make sure that you ask all the questions you need to ask about how to host your Hangout on Air and Community TV before I fly on Monday, because after that I can't guarantee I'll have any internet connection, and you'll be all on your own, Alex.
Right. I'll Google it. It's fine. That's how I found out how to do the event. That's where this duplicate button. I just couldn't find the button. But again, we're rambling. We should end this now before we really bore everyone off.
Okay, so that was great fun. Really enjoyed it. Really glad that I was back again. And Alex will see you next week, and I will see you at some time in the future on somebody's community TV or other TV shows, whenever.